All right, what is up, everybody? Sal and Cody here back for another episode of Morning Market News. So, thank you guys for joining in on episode 35. We're glad to have you guys in here. As you guys know, it's always supported by you guys hitting that like and subscribe button. Really appreciate you guys being in here because you could be anywhere else, but you are watching us. So, we really appreciate that. And even though there might be a little shorter than other live streams, but hey, we do appreciate you for joining in. We're going to talk all things crypto, business, economy, news, finance, whatever's going on in the market.
What is up?
So, how you doing, Cody? We're going to get started today. Let me just go over some basics with you guys. So, we have the greed and fear index on the markets at 85, on the crypto markets at 85. We are down a little bit in trading volume, down to 129 billion. Market cap is down about 1.5% at 2.54 trillion. And of course, you got Bitcoin dominance at 52.1 and Ethereum still at 16.6. Market's still taking a little bit of a correction as we're going
I've
down.
been speaking of Ethereum, man. It's been kind of going in this cycle between the past 2 months of Ethereum, Solana's going to gain more traction and stuff like that. Now we're kind of seeing Solana hitting 10 billion in volume and at $200, and it's crazy because you know we don't know how high Solana's going to go. I don't hold Solana. I wish I bought it a year ago. Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, but a year ago, like even a year ago, you guys might underestimate how much has changed in crypto in the past year. A lot of shit has changed in crypto in the past just 365 days.
Oh,
Solana was
yeah.
a hated coin.
Mhm.
Everybody said stay away from it. Every Telegram group chat space, I never heard anybody talking about I'm buying Solana. Never. A lot of people stayed away from it. So that's
Yeah,
kind of like a weird signal. It's like if the majority of people stayed away from it, who's pumping it?
and at 11 billion in volume transactions,
I mean, now it's different. People aren't avoiding it anymore. Like now, the retail investors are the ones buying Solana, but a year ago they weren't. So it's like, how did that change so quickly? I mean, we know Solana released a phone. We know it came with meme coins and shit, but it's like, if it was that associated with such a bad name, such as SBF and whatever their venture capital was, it's like, how did the? It's just crazy.
well, it don't ever underestimate the power of retail investors. And it is a name that's stuck around for a while,
Now
especially.
it's their favorite coin,
Oh,
Dogecoin.
it,
Solana is like the new. It's like the retail investor coin now.
well, yes. Well, with the tagline of saying it's going to be the ETH killer, it has a lot of people saying, well, if ETH is at this height, imagine what Solana could do. And the retail investors are piling in. It just goes to show you what the demand volume of piling in can really do. let's check out let's check out the actual volume, see what the order book says um on Solana here.
Because this is kind of where ETH was sitting at. In 2020, it was sitting in the $100-$200 range. And if Solana keeps holding this three-digit range, it's like it really could go to four digits.
So yeah, there's a healthy amount of sells, but yeah, I could tell this is a lot of retail investors because you're not seeing a lot of 100, 200, 300 sold being bought. You're seeing a lot of dust, like point 0.5, 1, 2 here, got a couple 13, 14, 18, but like here, point 0.4, point 0.3, point 0.2, point 0.1. So yeah, it's a
I
lot of
just feel like
Solana dust being bought.
something like Quant, for example, like Solana's at 200, Quant's at pushing 130. I feel like no shill zone. I'm not shilling anything, but I hold Quant, but no bias. But Quant is a lot better value at its price just because the tokenomics, and people underestimate how fast that one can move. But yeah, Solana could probably go to $700. I'm not gonna bank on it to go to 1,000. I'm not even gonna buy any Solana. But it's like it could go to like $700, $800 in a big bull run.
It could. It probably might go a little higher just with the demand and everything, especially retail investors getting involved. But it's also really doubtful that it can continue this rise for
Yeah,
long.
for
So
Yeah, I would say with sometime this summer or sometime this year, we are going to get some type of correct. It's not going to be only up this year. Even in a bull run, let's say we're in 2025, it's not going to be only up. Like, I remember in the past bull run, like, there would be days where an altcoin would be down like 40%, 50%. Bitcoin would be down
mhm.
25%, Ethereum would be down. Some of your
Yeah,
altcoins in the bull run, if there's a big correction in the bull run, it could go back to where we're sitting at like now. Like for example, like let's say if Chainlink, this is a little speculation here, but let's say Chainlink goes to like $100 in the bull run, right? You could if there's a big altcoin correction in the bull run, you could see Chainlink go back to 50, 60. Like those things happen in a bull run. And then at that point it's like you don't let the emotion of I gotta sell and eventually within 2-3 months span, it could go back up
yep, very
in a bull
true.
run. That's what happened in 2021. Like I remember seeing altcoins drop, and then 2-3 months later, some of them came back up like crazy, and some of them didn't hit all-time highs when Bitcoin did. Chainlink was actually an example of that. Chainlink in April of 2021, it hit its all-time high, and Bitcoin didn't hit all-time high until November. And Chainlink's in a different space now, though. It's like that's a pure example of past performance doesn't indicate future results because the price of Chainlink right now actually isn't far off from what it was in 2021. It's really not that far off. Now Polkadot, yeah, it's a little further off. Like that still needs like a good 4 or 5x to get the all-time high. But like Chainlink
Mhm.
isn't that far from it. Solana obviously isn't that far from it. So
Yes, and you guys got to also realize like it. This just goes to show being in the market is better than trying to time the market because you never know when these type of events happen to where you can take a good chunk of profit. I mean, if you were buying Solana back 2 years ago, you probably would make because Solana was hovering around between $10 and $14.
I would
At
have
some
sold
point,
it
it fell
all.
to 7.
Oh, if I bought Solana, if I threw $10,000 into Solana a year ago, I'd already be out of Solana right now. I would not be banking on what is it going to do in 2025. If I bought it in the $10 to $20 range, I would have sold every bit of my Solana. I probably would have actually. I mean, hindsight is everything. We could all say what we would have done if we had a teleport machine. But if I could have done it differently, and I was a big Solana fanboy, I would have threw like $10,000 into Solana, taken I'd probably be sitting at $100,000-$200,000 equity, and I would have taken a lot of that profit and threw it into Bitcoin and some of it into Quant. That's how I would do it right now, and I wouldn't even be holding Solana. Like, I mean, I don't understand why somebody would want to keep holding Solana if they bought it $10-$20. I mean, more power to you, but I would have already sold it all. Take
Yeah,
that 10x
I
any
mean,
day.
let's just see here. So 10. Let me just pull up my calculator here. So if you put 10,000 to Solana 2 years ago at the $14 range, you would have had 714 tokens roughly, right? And then now you're going to if you cash out at the 203 mark, you made $145,000. That's pretty life changing for 99% of us. So like I said, no one would expect you to keep holding, expecting to go higher. Like that's not how you want to invest. If you make this type of money, like if you did off Solana, then you should cash it
The
out.
people that are buying in
Profit is
Solana
something else.
now. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the people who are buying in Solana now are exit liquidity for the people who bought a year or 2 years ago. Like that's just the way it is. And Solana could still go up in the bull run, like it still could. But at this point, that's why I don't buy Solana now. Like going back, I would have bought it 2 years ago, but you don't have a teleportation machine. So now the people who are buying into Solana. I mean, you could say that about any coin, but it's exit liquidity. See, for the next bull run, it's like I already have my buys. All my coins that I'm holding now, I bought at lower prices than what they were. Like Quant, I bought that a lot lower. Polkadot, I bought that at like $3.50 to $5. So it's like I'm sitting on profit on both of those. And Chainlink, it still hasn't gone to $100. It still hasn't hit all time high. So I'm piling money into that. So that way, if
No.
it goes to all time high or doubles it, I'm in a good position in all three projects.
Oh, absolutely. And guys, keep in mind, Chainlink's doing a lot of work because I follow it on our main channel. I'm subscribed to their channel because they do have a at Chainlink YouTube channel, and they're going over all the details of what they're doing. Excuse me, how they're conducting interoperability,
They
meeting with
actually just hired
DeFi.
100 new engineers.
Yes, they're still hiring, which is a good sign, meaning meaning the ecosystem has more work that is demanding more people get involved to help grow what they're doing. Plus, matching it with interoperability, speed, and DeFi capabilities, it's definitely looking like it could go higher than where we even expect because its all time high I think was like 50 something dollars, 58, $59.
52.
52. Okay, so its all time high was 52, and they added all of this work that they did to the network, and it's the price hasn't caught up to where the value is because they had less value when they're at their all-time high, so they should exceed that tremendously, probably getting closer to
And
$100.
keep in mind, if you bought in June of 2023, I think that's where your brother bought around that price. But if you
Yeah,
bought in June of last year, you're up 5x on Chainlink. Like Chainlink was sitting at $5 freaking, $5 buckaroos in June
I
of
think it
last
was
year.
even lower than that
It was
a
at
year ago.
490. It's
Yeah,
Coinbase says the cycle low was at 495 in June of 2023.
yeah, and just keep in mind, like even Polkadot, like if you just go back to
350
it was down here by like three
in
something.
August, September.
And October. Like those are some pretty good lows to get into for these blue chip tokens. And it
Oh, I got 1,000 DOT. Like I get like half a dot a day. I get like 0.5 DOT every single day just for staking it. And I've been staking for a year, and my Polkadot wallet tells me I've gotten like over 100 DOT already just from staking it. So if I wasn't staking my DOT, I would have 115 less DOT than I have.
oh, absolutely. And the staking during the bear market is definitely a good option, but keep in mind it takes a long time to unstake all of that and get it to an
It
exchange.
takes a month. Yeah, so
Yeah,
basically that's my game plan is I'm gonna take advantage of staking for the rest of the year. And by November, December-ish, probably November, I'm gonna just unstake it because at that point I'm gonna have such a large equity in it to where if there is some inflation on Polkadot, it won't matter because I have a large holding.
yep, exactly. Just
And
trying to
not only that, on Polkadot, there's actually an option to where you can restake, you can compound your rewards. So the rewards that you get on a daily basis, it compounds to where you get more the next day, and it just keeps snowballing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just trying to manage but just be aware of the staking. Like I wouldn't be trying to stake while I'm going through the bull market. You want to wait, you want to have it on the sidelines already, prepared to be cashed out so you can get your profit. You don't want to see a good high that you want to cash out at, and then you have to wait a month to unstake it because a lot can happen to prices in crypto in a month.
Oh yeah, like in the bull market with my current holdings, I did the math. If I was staking during the bull market when it hits all time high, and I was staking, I'd be making like over $100 a day just from staking dot. Just I'd be making over. I'd probably be making like 130 a day just by staking dot. But I don't want to do that. I'd rather take my profits if we're in a bull run.
Absolutely. I tell you guys, you don't want to miss those opportunities. But also, I also am kind of curious as to how quantum computing is going to affect the crypto space. Um, because there's quite a few good companies out there, but also IBM is working on quantum computing as well. And usually, when IBM is working on something, it's going to be an eventual really good product. That's just been the history of the company. How is that going to affect crypto, and what is it going to do as far as speed of transactions? I can definitely equate to faster speed. Definitely, mining of new tokens is going to be, excuse me, significantly more energy efficient. But it is very curious to wonder how quantum computing is going to affect Web3 and the crypto markets and everything. So, guys, keep that in mind because that is on the horizon. It's nowhere near where it needs to be just yet. But as you guys know, especially with crypto, blockchain technology, and all of that, it is advancing faster than anything else, and every
Could you
technology is getting.
imagine? Could you imagine Hedera H bar being ran on like quantum computing? That would be crazy fast.
Yes, it would be a ridiculously fast forward, or like XRP. That's where I keep saying like we're kind of coming to the era where science fiction is going to become science fact because some of the things that we think are just still in the realm of science fiction might become things we couldn't live
Oh,
without.
the government already has technology that's like 50 years ahead of what the public has. That's can be seen as that.
Yes, there's already a lot of cool things that have already been created. Just imagine what can be created as we start to really expand what human civilization can do. I know I know right now it's easy to make fun of like going to space and with the Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and everyone's making fun of them going to space and all this stuff and they're not really going to space, but that's how things begin. That's how it begins with billionaires doing these kind of weird projects because they have nothing else to do. So now they're starting to tap into it. And a lot of people don't know Jeff Bezos is a graduate of Princeton University, and one of his big things that he always wanted to get into that he never felt like he had the brain power to get into was in astrophysics and going into space and things like that because his goal was to create, and he's even said this in a lot of his interviews that he's doing now, that his goal was to create a company to build enough wealth to go into space. Like that's his dream. And I can see eventually the costs are going to be in line, and eventually the transportation product to get into space is eventually going to be so efficient that businesses are going to say, "Hey, let's go instead of trying to mine this stuff here, we can go mine it on like a moon or a planet or an asteroid." They're already thinking about it. So the fact that they're already thinking about it means we're probably further along than most of us think that we are to getting there. And part of getting there, because if you have, let's say you have a relative who who is on one of these like a mining colony, and it's like 300,000 miles away, right? What we have now, you can't transfer money out to there. It'd take forever for the system to get there. But if you're talking about quantum computing and the speed and technology of Hedera and XRP, now all of a sudden you're talking about sending someone money just like you would Zelle someone today. Like it just happened in an instant, maybe a minute or two. So, like to me, that's what all this advancement is gearing up to, where we're going to start doing the hardest parts of manufacturing is going to be moved off of Earth over there, and you're only going to ship the final product back to Earth. But there's still a lot of things that are involved. I mean, that's going to change the realm of politics, society, countries. How do we interact? What is now considered? I mean, you're going to have to reevaluate because international waters is going to mean a whole different thing when you get out there. Can people lay stakes to can countries lay stakes and all that stuff? It it was it was science fiction 60 years ago. It's still thought of as science fiction today, but in the next 20 years probably might be science fact by us getting out there. Eventually someone's going to come up with a better system. That's what I think people don't understand are forgetting is that eventually someone's going to come up with a better system, and eventually businesses are going to capitalize on it, and then eventually it'll become a norm because those businesses will make it unique as they say, hey, come help us out in this mining colony because we're going to pay you a lot of money that you can send back to your family. And I can see a lot of people doing it, going out there, taking the risk, like the next frontier. So to me, it's just kind of interesting. And what does quantum computing even mean for AI technologies? Because right now, it's all working on the existing technology. How is AI going to be able to function on an actual quantum computing device that can keep up with the processing of it? So all these things that are now that even 30 years ago were thought of as science fiction are now becoming science fact. Like Terminator was just a movie, and now people are worried about Skynet, AI becoming Skynet. So I'd say it's only a matter of time before all these markets are becoming very vital to where we're going in the future with what we're doing, especially with crypto technology and everything and how it works, how the speed of it, how it functions. It's something that's definitely going to be needed down the road. But I'm not one, I will tell you this, I don't think Bitcoin is going to become a currency. It's not. It's Bitcoin is not meant for that. Bitcoin was just a store of value. Things like Hedera, XLM or Stellar, and XRP, those are going to be those have a better chance of becoming currencies than anything else on the crypto market. And I don't even think stable coins are going to make it through. I just have a feeling stable coins were created by a need for traders to park their values without having to collect capital gains. Once that's done and crypto has the currency use that everyone's talking about, there's no need for a stable coin. I don't even think there's really a need for for CBDCs, but I understand why governments are creating CBDCs. Which kind of brings us to our next point. Like every government's creating CBDCs, and Quant has a huge stake in that. And Cody and I talked about this a couple streams ago. Like the two guys that are running Quant, one built up Comcast to the giant that it is today. The other one was the top wealth manager for Rothschild's fund. Those two guys definitely have the connections of Quant in everything. Wouldn't surprise me that the CBDCs will be on base with Quant's platform, which is why Cody and I are firm believers in Quant. Let me just pull Quant up for you guys, because I know it hasn't had a lot of activity, but the followers from last year to this year, it was like something like 30,000 followers, and now we got almost 120,000 followers following Quant and paying attention to it. But the thing that people forget is their ecosystem is part of a lot of digital central banking.
People forget too that Overledger actually is compatible with Avalanche. It's compatible with Avalanche.
Yes,
like if you go on Quant's YouTube channel, they were running a DApp on Overledger. There's a lot of connectivity. There's even a blog post on Quant about connectivity to Avalanche. You can literally bridge value and tokens over to Avalanche from Overledger. So, like, if you're a company and you're using Zapier and you're using Quant Overledger for automated workflows, which is what a business needs, then basically, if you want to deploy a value or any type of token over to Avalanche, and you can send it over to Avalanche to whatever you want to do on Avalanche. Let's say you want to make it into an NFT. You can do. See, people forget about this stuff. Like literally, Overledger. You can make an application on Overledger. You can bridge it over to Avalanche. You can make it into an NFT, or you can make it. As they're big on art and gaming, you can use it for gaming purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Like people don't understand how huge that is. Like you can make a token. Like I'm gonna repeat myself. Make a token on Overledger, and you don't even have to bridge it over to Ethereum. You can bridge it over to Avalanche. You can do whatever you want with that thing on Avalanche. What you made on Overledger.
Yeah, absolutely. People fail to forget, and even sometimes I forget that how connected those two ecosystems are.
Exactly. See, and Chainlink and Avalanche. Sergey Nazarov. If you go on Avalanche's website, they actually put a picture of what Sergey Nazarov said about Avalanche. A lot of these ecosystems are very connected. That's why I'm holding the Chainlink token, because the Chainlink token is actually going to have more use than the AVAX token. See, right now there's not a lot of use for the AVAX token. I'm not dogging Avalanche. Avalanche is a cool technology with the subnets and all that. You got the C chain, the X chain. Avalanche is cool as shit. I love it. But I'd rather, as an investment wise, token wise, use Chainlink, because when cross chain interoperability, the CCIP protocol is released, the Chainlink token is going to be used as gas, and it's going to have a lot of value there. So that's why you see a lot of volume and price action with Chainlink in the past year.
Absolutely, and that's part of one of the things that they even said on their YouTube channel. They had like a 30-minute video about it, and as soon as I saw those videos, I knew Chainlink was going to be a great buy and probably going to be a great asset in.
You can't even say that there's no use for the Link token. Like there is use for it. The Quant token, you have to have the Quant token to actually have licenses for the applications that you make on Overledger.
Yes.
So if you want to make your application that you made on Overledger go live, you have to have the Quant token to pay for licenses and all of that. So there's use for every token that I hold in my portfolio. Like that's why I hold DOT over Atom, because the DOT token is more in demand and is more useful than the Atom token. Is the Cosmos ecosystem great? Hell yeah. Like the technology of it made injective. Cosmos is great, but the Atom token, I don't like the Atom token. Not a big fan of it. DOT has way outperformed it like I thought it was going to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. And excuse me. And like I said, you don't want to invest in all these hype tokens. Remember what I said yesterday on the live, guys, is that.
But that's why I hold Quant. It's like the Overledger technology is cool. Yeah, and that's what Quant's all about. The Overledger technology being used by enterprises and business who want to actually get into blockchain, and they can deploy their applications to other networks such as Avalanche. And as Quant gets more and more popular and more in demand, Ethereum, and I mean Quant is already on Ethereum, but like every platform eventually is going to allow Overledger connectivity, and when that happens, it's going to be huge.
Absolutely. And why also remember, guys, Zapier, which is working off of the Overledger too, they are advertising everywhere, not just to big businesses, not just to medium cap businesses, not just to large private businesses.
But they're also marketing
small business.
Is your mic muted? I can't hear you.
Nope, mine is active. Can you hear me now? Let's see here. We do it.
Hello?
We do it live. Yep, I can hear you, Cody. Let's see. Let me just fiddle with the mic here. Okay, but like I was saying, guys, it's Zapier is working off the Overledger, and Zapier is working
It's
off the
crazy.
open ledger.
I was talking. Sorry, I was talking, and you just went mute. And I don't know if you heard me or anything. I don't know if I was talking over you, but it just went mute.
Oh, okay. No worries. No worries. Sometimes these programs act up, right? Um, and I know everyone's telling me use StreamYard, but I like Restream. It's pretty simple to use.
It's simple.
But anyway, like I was saying, Zapier is using the Overledger network, and it's a part of the Quant Net ecosystem, and they are advertising like crazy. And they're not just targeting big
And they're
businesses and medium-sized businesses; they're targeting small businesses as well with their product.
13-year-old
I'm sorry, go
company. They're a 13-year-old company. They have, I think, like a 200. Their revenue's like 800 million a year or something like that.
ahead.
Or something
They're
like that. They
not a
have a good revenue.
yeah, they're not a small company either. But the fact that they're jumping onto the into the crypto market, into the crypto world, and developing Web3 programs on Overledger Network and utilizing it, that means they're betting on and preparing for a huge influx of business to come from the just from the crypto world. And if you see companies like that using it, and they're also using AI technologies and all that, they're trying to make it easier for businesses to operate and do some of the tasks, even some mediocre tasks like menial tasks. I mean, for like scheduling, calendar apps, just emailing, disseminating information among your employees, things like that, marketing. That's what they're helping a lot of businesses do, and they're taking what they gave to big businesses and bringing it to small businesses. So they're going to not only add a lot of value to their business, but they're adding a lot of value to the Quant network as well. So let me just I think they're publicly traded. Let me just see if I can find them.
What, Quant?
Zapier.
Oh,
They are
yeah, they are.
they are they are a private company right now. So we only get the information. We can only get the information they release. But I could tell you they were founded in October 1st of 2011. They range between 200 and 500 employees. Um, we kind of can see some of the team behind it. Let's see here. I don't think we can get much other information other than general synopsis off because it is a privately held company. So unless if you are a private equity investor in it, you're not going to know any details about this company other than what they say, which is we can kind of look up that they're a high nine-figure revenue company, which is amazing that they're making that much money off of
In
that.
13 years, yeah. Because they joined the game in like 2011.
Yep. And they were offering quality service for a quality price for their products for businesses, but they were targeting larger businesses. Now they're moving on to blockchain technology, AI technology, and they're moving into it. Actually, looking at it, I would not be surprised if they're already working on an IPO schedule. They just haven't announced it yet. Although probably
Yeah.
IPOing right now would not be good because the costs to get an investment bank involved is going to be astronomical right now. I would probably wait until the market cools down, everything kind of like with the market's not skyrocketing, nothing's heating up, everything's kind of like a nice even tempo. That's when I would go. That's when I would go public. But I wouldn't be surprised if they are seriously considering it
You
right
know
now
what's
because it
crazy?
seems like they have the capability to do it. Sorry, go ahead, Cody.
Kind of on a different topic, but there's this one narrative that Avalanche follows Solana price movement, and so far that's been true because Avalanche is at like $62. It's been following this Solana train.
Yep, almost percent point for percent point. I mean, you got Solana at 38.9% increase on 7 days, and you have Avalanche at 38.50.
39.69
Yeah,
coin market
it
cap
just
says.
jumped. So they're very, very close to each other.
Avalanche and Solana are kind of similar. I mean, even Avalanche had an outage recently for like
Yeah,
8 hours. It wasn't a huge outage like Solana, but it Avalanche and Solana seem very similar to me. I don't know why, they just do. And I think a lot of people feel like that too. I think a lot of people feel like Avalanche and Solana are like the same narrative.
yeah.
But
I
Avalanche
can see that.
advertises that they're fast. But if you go on the Avalanche mainnet subscan, you see that
Mhm.
it says that it averages like 14 to 12 transactions per second. That's literally what Ethereum does. So looking at that, is it really that much faster than Ethereum? It's like it advertises that it's blazingly fast, yet on the subnets on the X and C chain it says that it does like 14 transactions per second.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a full test, but you also got to keep in mind that there's probably not as many people on the network. So once more activity gets to the network, we really will be able to see the true speed of the network. But I don't think it's anywhere near as fast as Hedera or XRP.
Yeah,
I think
no.
I
So
think it may be faster than Ethereum, but not that much.
Hedera is actually the fastest in the game, like even faster than Solana, I'm pretty sure. Hedera, people sleep on Hedera. I don't hold any Hedera. It's a great project, but I don't know why. It's like I'd rather buy Chainlink over Hedera, even though I do love Hedera, and it could go to like 70 cents to a dollar.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'd be in the same boat. Granted, if you had bought into Avalanche last year,
Which I was thinking about doing last year, but I didn't.
you would have had a phenomenal because I think the lowest point was
Yeah,
$9.11.
it was
No,
this time last year. I was looking at Avalanche, and I was so like, I like Avalanche. I want to start, buying it. And then
yeah,
I
it
was like,
was.
nah.
Well, we even had a stream about it, and there was kind of some sketchy transactions happening where
Yeah,
it was like zero trades, but it was being marked as activity.
a lot of people were sketched out about Avalanche too. I remember some people talking bad about it. Now it's like you see how stuff changes, how fast stuff changes in this space, like Solana.
Absolutely. But I wanted you guys to know it's better to miss out than to lose out. So it's better to miss out on an opportunity because you think something's fishy is going on than it is to invest and you lose everything because something fishy was going on. So like Munger always said, it's better to miss out than to lose out. Like that's just a good philosophy to have when you're investing because you will miss probably 99% of all the opportunities that happen on the market. There's no way that you're going to be able to catch every opportunity. The only thing you can do is invest in the projects you believe in and you understand in, and then dollar cost average in it and not try to time the market. However, I would say if you do believe in the company or the crypto and it's going down a little bit and you want dollar cost average a little bit more that time, that is a good decision to do. Because in the end, if you were behaving like Cody, because every single person that tried to time the market only had like a 5 to 6% increase. Even my trying to pick the best times and dollar cost averaging more on certain times did not equate to Cody's overall market gain of him just dollar cost averaging on a scheduled, consistent basis. So he does it every time he gets paid. And he has the best out of everybody, he has the best performance on his portfolio out of everybody. Everybody I talk to, everybody I say, because people are saying, well, I'm up 20%, I'm up 50%, but Cody's up pretty much like 100% almost. And that's because he keeps dollar cost averaging in no matter what the price is. He's not trying to time the market, he's just trying to be in the market. That's the best way to invest. I know a lot of there's a lot of people out there that are quote unquote financial gurus telling you, oh, this is a great time to buy, time to market, make this right trade. You're never going to make that. There's a 9 out of 10 chance that you're going to make the wrong decision, especially the more you try to do it, the more tired you get, the harder it is to look at the screen, the more likely you are to make a mistake. The best thing you can do is just invest in strong assets that you understand how they are functioning and how they're going to make money, and keep dollar cost averaging into those. Because of what works for stocks works for crypto too. Cody's kind of living proof of that. But we're coming kind of towards the end here. There, like we've been saying, there really is no news right now. Like there's no crazy stories, no phenomenal things going on in crypto. We are just really looking at the market and trying to analyze what will happen. Do keep in mind that the doomsayers and the boonsayers are, they're trying to galvanize attention for revenue, and we can't blame them. That's what they're doing. What I can say is just find the things you want to invest in, really understand them, learn as much as you can about it, and invest dollar cost average and invest accordingly, and don't moonshot your entire life savings into one trade, because that's going to end in disaster. 9 out of 10 times it ends in disaster, or you're going to end up like the Dogecoin millionaire who made it, didn't cash out because he thought it was going to go higher. The infamous, oh, it could go higher. What if it goes higher? And he lost like 70% of the value. I think now it gained some of it back, but he should sell. He should sell. In all my opinion, he should cash out and go do something else with it. But he is a perfect example of, don't ever think that something could go higher. Have a risk evaluation of where your risk levels and tolerance are at, and have your cash out points. We got a great supporter that's in our Patreon and in our Discord that he consistently evaluates and sets his profit points, so like where he's going to take profits, how much he's going to take profits, and he has a timed out strategy for it. That's what you need. It's not an emotional stance. It's just logically, what do I want to do? But keep in mind, guys, he's in what was it? They're not an operating nurse, but he's like a specific type of nurse for cardiac care and heart surgeries and stuff like that. So they're busy nonstop. So you got to have a plan to go into surgery. You can't just go in there and wing it. Same thing with investing. You got to have a plan with what you're going to do, both short term and long term. And the best way to do that is to go to a financial advisor and say, this is where I want to be when I retire. They're going to tell you, okay, well, you're going to need to make these steps in the short term, make these steps 4 years from now, and these steps 10 years, and these steps 30 years from now. They're going to tell you pinpoint where you need to be. And that's what you need to do. That's how you win the game of investing. You're not going to throw money out there and make like $20 million off of one trade for a couple $1,000s. No, what you need to do is make steady investments with steady gains and steady exit and entry strategies into the market. That's how you're going to make your money. And that's how the wealthy that are wealthy, that you got, that most people don't pay attention to, that's how they make their money. They have a plan. Most of them have a plan for 50 years after they even pass away as to how they're going to invest and make their money, exit and enter into markets. But that's just some food for thought, guys. Really appreciate you joining in. I know Cody's got to head off to work, and I got to get back to work here. So we really appreciate you joining in. Hit that like and subscribe button. Help us share. Help us grow. Really appreciate all you guys' attention, because, hey, like we said in the beginning, these lives are sponsored by you guys, and you guys could be anywhere else, but you are here. So we really appreciate you guys. And even in the beginning, Cody and I were just talking to ourselves, and now we have a few of you guys coming in and listening to us. So we really appreciate that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and we will catch you later, probably same time tomorrow, because I have an event to go to in the morning. So hopefully we can be on live. If not, we'll be on live in the evening for you guys. So thank you so much, and we will see you guys later. Like and subscribe, and always do your own research, and don't moonshot your savings, and make sure you have a plan. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys later.